Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. And got a good one for you today. I'm at William Mason Park in Irvine, walking amongst the birds and checking everything out. It's just a beautiful day out here. But got some distressing news in that banks are getting ready for defaults. And many of them are preparing for this right now. So we're going to talk about that. And before I get into it, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification. And don't forget, we have an email list that you can sign up for below. And take a look at that, okay? But let's get right into it. Second largest bank in the world is Bank of America. The CEO of the company, Brian Moynihan, steps forward and won in a few different shows. It was on CNN talking about how, hey, we're preparing for the U.S. government to default, and we're preparing for people to default right now on their loans, and that you can talk about how great the economy is right now, but it's not good right now. You know, Chairman Powell from the Fed steps forward and says, hey, there's issues, guys, right now, and inflation is going to be here for a while. And again, a week ago, we were told inflation was gone and we're not going to have to worry about this, but it's going to be around for some time. Just because it's not at 11 right now, it is going full steam ahead, and things are going up in price in every sector. Around the globe, this is happening, from food, energy, supplies, name it. But Bank of America is tremendously concerned because they think that the government is going to default on on itself right now and not, be able to fund itself in the future. Now, Janet Yellen, who yesterday said there is no recession and not to worry about this, today says we need to get rid of the debt limit, the debt ceiling, and get rid of this altogether because at $32 trillion, we're going to hit it very soon and we need to get rid of this. This is giving an imbecile a credit card with no limit. And the problem with that is eventually they get caught every single time. And that's what they want to do with the federal government. With what you've seen over the course of the last 60 days, with the spending package that was approved that has more shenanigans than anything else, would you give these guys an unlimited spending limit? Look at the turtles hanging out in the rocks. Isn't that crazy? People dump these turtles here, and the turtles get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then they come out in the sun. When the sun is shining, they come out and hang out. You can see the one swimming, and you can see this guy just soaking up the sun. He's got it made. But Brian Moynihan, he's convinced that that for banking and for business that we need to be ready for the U.S. government to default on itself. And Jerome Powell, I watched what he had to say. There was nothing good about it. It wasn't, oh gosh, we've solved this. We've curbed inflation. God, there's a ton. Look at all these. I'm sorry, guys, not to be a total weirdo. Look at all these turtles out here now. Look at this. Isn't that crazy? You only get this when it's really hot like this. But there's just a ton of them out there. God, look at that. There's just so many today. Unbelievable. So next thing is banks and credit card companies. They're doing more and more each week to sock away money because they're convinced that more people are going to default to them. You're going to see more defaults on personal loans, more defaults on credit cards, credit lines, auto loans. It's happening in every single sector out there when it comes to personal finance with the consumer and with small business. Now, don't be concerned about it. Do you owe anybody money right now? Get control of it right now. Do yourself a favor, because one thing that happened that was nuts was we saw more and more people that were borrowing money in November than ever. Credit card limits went up. Now, the problem with that is that there's a credit restriction right now. You're starting to see banks tighten up on the credit lines right now, so people cannot borrow as much. So it was well over $100 billion in November to where it was less than half of that in December. Why is that? Well, Dan, it's Christmas time. You'd think people would be spending more money. They were, but they couldn't borrow any more money because they were using the money to pay their bills and just to get by. So the banks know this. Banks are not stupid. The banks know that people are borrowing money. The banks know that people are getting higher and higher and higher on their credit lines, and that savings amounts right now around the world, you're seeing more and more savings accounts that are dwindling right now. Look at all the turtles, man. It is a turtle festival today out here. It's really warm right here. It's really hot right now. So that is absolutely amazing. I'll get a really good shot of that for you guys in a minute. You have to get real. Just like I tell all my friends and everybody, colleagues, and everybody I work with, watch who you owe money to. Watch who owes you money right now, because you're going to see a real downturn in the availability to get money. And I was talking to a friend yesterday, and hey, Dan, you've had a really, grew up in construction. What advice would you give me? Because I'm hiring somebody to do a big project, about 300 grand. And I sat down and laid out how long did they say it's going to take you? And I laid out a plan with her, because the problem with construction right now, especially remodels, is what can you get? Can you get all the granite? Can you get all the hardware? Can you get the appliances? Can you get all the electrical? Can you get everything? The fixtures for the faucets, everything. I could bore you guys with the entire list we went through. The point of this is that you need to sit down with the contractor in advance and say, I want to make sure that you can get all this stuff so you can complete the project in 90 days. Oh, that's great. It's a great idea. The problem with that is people don't do, he told me it's going to take about 3 months. No, make it take 3 months. Sit down and make decisions and make him do a little work up front to where he knows that the granite's going to be sitting there. Make sure that he knows that he can get the cabinets. Make sure that everything is in stock so that he's not going to have a bit of an issue right now. And people don't want to do that. People don't want to do that with their own finances. People don't want to do that with business. But once again, watch who owes you money, because I'm telling you, you're not the only one that they owe. And you're going to see this with credit being the way it is right now. People are robbing Peter to pay Paul, Steve, John, Tim, Harry, and everybody else, and you last. Don't forget that. So do yourself a favor and make sure that you're not the biggest problem. Okay? Make sure that you are not owed the most. Make sure that you're in front of the line. Be the squeaky wheel right now. That is the best thing that you can do. Man, oh man, I've never been out here so many times. I have never seen this many turtles ever out here. It's absolutely unbelievable. This is a concern when all of the credit card companies are stockpiling money. They are putting together tons of money so that you're going to default. You guys are going to not pay them, and they're going to have to take losses. Discover's doing a ton. American Express has the best payment record with their clients. They're still shoring up tons of money, hundreds of millions of dollars, so that they can not have to worry about you stiffing them, because it's going to happen. People are inevitably going to stiff American Express and not pay them. The lenders right now for car loans, you're seeing subprime mortgage rates. That's one thing that people ask me. Well, Dan, if the average person's at 8%, what's the subprime rates at? Minimum 11% right now, guys. Now you see some people that are at 9s and stuff like that, then they may not be subprime. Subprime to me is the people that really can't borrow money. And I had a friend of mine yesterday tell me a great story about how he rented his apartment and went to the landlord, and the landlord had what he considered, this is not the most desirable unit because it's between two units. It's only got, the windows in the front and the windows in the back. There's no side windows. And my friend said, listen, my credit's not good. Haven't paid many people, with I owe taxes right now, but I've always paid my rent. And if you take a chance on me, you're never going to have a problem. Now, the landlord requested a little larger deposit to do that, but he got the place. And you know what he did? He was honest up front. He didn't lie and said, oh, you're going to have no problem with me, because that's what people do. People lie about this stuff up front. When you know that you know if you've got good credit, you know if your job history is good, you know all this stuff. You really do. The problem with it is that Bank of America, the CEO of Bank of America, is saying, get ready for the defaults. Get ready for us to default. get ready for the United States to default. That is a huge problem. Now, look at Lebanon. The problem with this, if we raised our credit limit to whatever, unlimited, hey, you can have $50 trillion owed. They would spend it, guys. If they raised the debt ceiling $5 trillion, they would spend that within a year. I totally believe that on God knows what, okay? Lebanon has such a bad problem. Had the earthquake, had all this stuff, but their banking system is a complete disaster right now. So much so that inflation is out of control. People cannot get their money out. People sued a bank. 2 people sued the Bank of Lebanon to get their money out of the bank in cash and demanded it in cash. It went all the way to their Supreme Court, and they finally got the funds released in cash. And the bank said, wait a second, we just want to issue these people a check. Because the currency is devalued so much, if I wrote you a check for $100 in their marks, francs, pounds, whatever Lebanese money is, I think it's pounds, it would be worth up to 90% less than what it would be. So they wanted it in cash. That's what we're owed. Give us the cash, because that's the money. And they wanted to discount it. They argued this all the way back and forth. That's what you're going to see. The bail-ins that we've talked about, where, think about this. You are a shareholder of the bank. Think about this. Bank of America cannot afford to have the depositors take their money out, so then you get issued shares in it. That's a bail-in. Hey, you have worthless shares in the company. Okay? Well, look at Lebanon, guys. These people, 2 people, fought it. And then other people sued with like a class action style lawsuit to say, wait a second, it's not fair that these 2 people, these 2 people had the guts to go that far before, to take it all the way to that extreme, to say, wait a second, we want our money. So get ready, guys. When Bank of America goes on CNN and says, we're getting ready for defaults with everything, and then you look at all the other stories, and again, look at everything that's downstairs in the video description, because there's so much with credit card debt, auto loans, forget the student loans. People owe that and they're just not paying them right now. Personal loans, your home loans. Spoke to my friend again in the foreclosure industry, and you're seeing such a debacle right now when it comes to the foreclosures that you haven't seen anything yet. And he really thinks that this is like the second inning of just a buildup to where this thing's going to go on and on and on through extra innings, and you're going to see people just lose everything, but it's going to go completely upside down with the banking system. So, Chairman Powell, hey, he gets together and everything's great, guys. Inflation's a problem. Listen to what they're saying day by day. If you do, you'll go insane, because they do this for a job. It's maddening to hear these people one day say one thing and the next day to say, well, this is still a concern. Okay. Stock market loved it. Thought it was great. Everything goes up. Big 500-point swing yesterday. Okay, great. No, guys, absolutely not. Get real with all of this stuff. Get real with the bills. Get real with the debt. Get real with your credit card. But what you're going to start seeing is your interest rates go through the roof right now. They're going to raise them. The people out there that do not have a paper statement, I'm telling you, think of all the emails you get from the bank. They're just going to tell you, hey, the interest rate went from 28 to 36%. And people have sent me well over 30% all over the place. I could bore you guys with that. Man, look at all those turtles. So let me know what you guys think about this. I think we all need to be concerned about this more than ever. And Mr. Moynihan is not considered an imbecile. He's considered kind of a conservative guy. Michael Hartnett and all the other people with B of A too are basically, conservative people out there. And now they're talking about things defaulting and having issues. So let me know what you guys think so far. Turtles everywhere. Now, come on, do you believe that everything is great? I've asked you guys this before. Chairman Powell steps forward and said, our goal is 2% inflation. That's what it was before Joe Biden stepped into office. And now it's much higher. And it shot up, to over 9% at some point. And now the Fed's goal, they say, is Hopefully 5% at the end of the year. Still a ton, guys. It's absolutely crazy, but this is going to take more time than we thought. And we're working on it diligently, which no one believes. You don't, I don't. You see things go up all the time, and for us to say it's going to be at 5% is complete lunacy. Now, the problem with the Fed is that they say things like they're truth, and they're not. We never believed that the economy would be this strong, because it's not. Okay? Let me give you another example. Good old Zoom. Think about this. Zoom became the staple in everybody's life over the course of the last 3 years. Made a ton of money. Well, they're laying off thousands of people right now, guys. Okay, over 1,000 people right now at Zoom are getting laid off, 10% of their workforce, because demand is diminishing. How can that be, guys? No one's, people are still having meetings, aren't they? Of course they are. But they're not having meetings the way that they were. There's less business, guys. People are letting people go like you wouldn't believe. That's happening. So, there was a point in time, guys, that Zoom did so well during the health crisis that the stock went up $100 in one day. I will never forget that night. I think it was 2020 when they were talking about after hours trading and how Zoom had gone up $100. I mean, if you had an option on that, and for every dollar go up 1,000, it was just insane what you could have made. You made $10,000 on the stock going up like that if you had one of the options. Anyways, I could diverse into stock trading all day long if you wanted to. But guys, Zoom is having trouble. Why? Why? Business is great, Dan. Everything is good. Just ask Chairman Powell. We had no idea it would be this strong right now, that unemployment would be this good. It's not good, guys. It is not good. The companies that are doing the best right now are the companies that are trimming the fat right now. Chat GPT that we keep talking about has partnered with Microsoft, and they've written a huge check to be part of this. Well, guess what? Chat GPT will now be on Bing, which will add service to Bing, because Bing sucks lately. You guys know that. Bing is not really a great search engine, and Chat GPT will only help that become a better search engine. Bed Bath & Beyond. Think about this. I'm talking about, you guys want to do a sucker's bet? They just issued $1 billion worth of preferred stock. $1 billion in that bankrupt company. $1 billion. I can't even say it. It's just unbelievable. The company, went up 90% one day, went down 24%, 48%. It's just a mess. It's all over the map. Last time I looked at it, it was just under $5 a share. But the likelihood that they're going to go bankrupt is insane. But some ass clown at a investment bank said, hey, listen, Danny boy, I think you should put some money into Bed Bath & Beyond. I think they're going to turn it around. Okay? Yeah. Throw 10 grand in it. Come on, do it. You guys, it's a sucker's bet right now. And if you believe that certain retailers like this are going to go out of business, it is February, guys, and I'm sitting there thinking, who's done? Who's going out of business right now? Christmas was so bleak as far as shopping that I enjoyed shopping for Christmas this year because there's nobody out doing it. And as I get away from Christmas and get to February, my birthday's in February, towards the end of the month, it's always different 2 months later, the sales that you see, the discounts, and it kind of just continued along. Do people have do you have the merchandise inside the stores? A lot of people don't. You can buy 75-inch TVs for $500 right now. It's insane what things are selling for. Computers, personal computers, man, I'm telling you, you want a personal computer right now? They're free right now. Such discounts, such deals. All you got to do is search. People are lazy and they don't want to do that, but look what's out there, because those deals are out there right now, guys. It's a really beautiful park right now, but that side is sunnier and hotter, and all of the turtles go over there. That's why we got to see all those turtles today. It's very cool. I've been up here and seen the coyotes, and the coyotes go to the edge of the water and they eat the waterfowl, and they would snack on a turtle if they were given the opportunity as well. So share your thoughts on all this stuff so far right now. Do you guys agree with Powell? Do you think that things are heading in the right direction? It's a strong economy and jobs are good. So I don't see that at all right now. So let me know what you guys are thinking about all this stuff. One thing that's fascinating to me is that college degrees are losing their clout. And there is a great article below about how hiring managers are not considering the college degrees anymore like they used to. The thing that I always ask people is, hey, my kid's going to go to college. Hey, my kid's going to do this. I did this. Don't you ever sit down and say, how much money can I earn in that industry, with my degree? Now, I have the real smart people that tell me, it doesn't matter, I'm going to be the top of my field, so I'm going to be a top earner. Okay. You're going to be $126,000 in debt. Don't you want to know the answer to that question? Because if you paid $1,000 a month towards your student loan debt, which you won't, it's 126 months of your life dedicated to paying that off. And nobody does. They just don't. I know people in their 50s that have student loan debt. Intelligent.com did a survey, and 53% of the company said, especially for senior management, if somebody works in the company, we don't care if Tony has a degree or not. We're going to promote him because he knows our systems. He's a good worker, shows up on time, doesn't do drugs, and he's here. And that's who we want to have work for us. So that's the future, guys. The future is not having the college degree. It's lifestyle experiences. And once again, what do you know about, guys? Seriously, what are you good at? I was talking to the foreclosure guy today, telling him to write a book today because this guy knows foreclosures like the back of his hand, knows the industry, knows the terms, could explain everything I asked of him. But a how-to guide on how to buy a foreclosure, a how-to guide on the foreclosure process, foreclosure sales, going to an auction, all that stuff, I'd buy that book. I'd buy that book in a second. So what do you know about? Sell it, guys. You'll make a ton of money doing that. Do what you love and it'll never be work. Remember that. Our trade deficit went up again. And once again, two-prong. In December, $948 billion for the year is our trade deficit. So again, an absolute disaster. It's horrible. We don't make enough stuff here in the United States to compete globally. Well, they blame it all on oil prices now. Oh, okay. It was, the year before it was 950 million and it went up, $36 billion, and it's all because of oil prices. It gets kind of old, guys, after a certain point if you believe that. So we need to bring back manufacturing. We need to bring back, industry to the United States. The auto industry is not what it used to be, to say the least. So let me know what you guys think about all this. Just a few more stories for this video. One thing that's happening with the millennials today is with the Great Resignation and with trying to keep employees happy, we may not be able to pay you more money, but we're going to give you a cool new title. So you're starting to see extra vice presidents added to company. Stacy, you're now the grand poobah of the company. Oh no, it doesn't pay anymore, but you're the grand poobah. You're in charge. So all these great titles that people are getting, and they have no clout, and they have no more money too. But you can put that on your business card and show it to your friends. It'll be awesome. Something brand new that was sent to me by Don was sell to rent. Think about this one, guys. You guys want to get out of your house? Want to get out top dollar? Sell the house today and then rent it back from the owner. Sell to rent. The link is below, guys. Not a sponsor, nobody. I just think that it's absolutely crazy that this company does that. So sell to rent. These people out here with their motorized boats, kind of cool. Chris Nassetta, he is the Hilton CEO. And he said when he was younger, he made a mistake and he bought a Porsche. And it almost bankrupted him because the Porsche was $20,000 and he spent so much money to fix it. And I had the same thing happen to me in high school. I was talked into buying this cool Audi car, and I spent more money fixing that car than I ever did enjoying the car. And Chris said the same thing, and that people need to look at this, which a life lesson. He learned it in his 20s, but it almost made him broke. And, you know, there's that. So clearly, a lesson to be learned with this. I always like the stories like Ford found on road dead, Fiat fix it again, Tony. You know, that's another good one. So share your thoughts. If you have any more acronyms for fantastic cars, let me know. There was a kid who's 6 years old, grabbed his dad's cell phone and called Grubhub. He bought $1,000 worth of food on Grubhub. Mason is his name, Stonehouse, 6-year-old boy, bought crab, bought shrimp, chili fries, okay, stuffed grape leaves, which I like. Clearly the kid's an aristocrat, but crazy. $1,000 worth of stuff on Grubhub, and it made the Today Show. Now, don't you know you're dealing with a 6-year-old kid when you get him on the phone? I would kind of figure that one out pretty quick. Chili cheese fries and grape leaves. Okay, that's quite the combination we got going on there. But have you guys ever had anybody do anything like that? Your kids ever done that? Your grandkids? Anybody like that ever ordered anything they weren't supposed to? You know, I'm always amazed by that. Please don't forget to the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Seagulls are having a nice time over on this side of the lake. Onward and upward, guys. I will see you guys very soon. Don't forget, if you want to reach out to me or send me any news stories, hello@iallegedly.com, and I will see you guys very soon.